The second of two graded stakes races on Saturday at Del Mar is the Grade 2 San Diego Handicap. The Grade 1 Bing Crosby is race number 8. The Grade 2 San Diego, despite the grading, it is a better race than the Bing Crosby. An outstanding field of 9 entered the San Diego, a mile and 1/16 on the main track. This race is a prep for the Pacific Classic in early September, and you know who's waiting it for whoever shows up in that race, none other than undefeated, brilliant superstar Flightline. So whoever runs well in the San Diego on Saturday is probably going to earn his way into a showdown with Flightline. Let's take a look at the field for the San Diego. Race number 10, a mile and 16th on the main track, and some very good horses in this field. Led, of course, by Dubai World Cup winner Country Grammar, number 8. Royal Ship is Grade 1 caliber. There goes Harvard, won a Grade 1 last time out, the Gold Cup. Defunded finished second. Mandaloon, all he's done is win the Haskell via DQ and the Kentucky Derby via DQ. Stiletto Boy is a graded stakes winner. There are some, how about Tripoli? All he did a year ago was win the Pacific Classic. So this is really an outstanding race. It's a good field with good horses. And if you like to bet, I do, I think you might be able to find something you like here. And that's assuming that you agree with me that Country Grammar, who is the best horse in the field, but I suspect he might be vulnerable first start back. Maybe the best horse will win anyway, but going a mile and a 16th is not way too short, but it's too short, shorter than Country Grammar prefers. Okay. We're talking about Country Grammar. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he did in late March.
Used to gain ground towards the inside. Life is good with a target on his back. Country Grammar getting the upper hand, draws alongside, and Country Grammar with his dates with destiny in front, a length and a half. Country Grammar won the Dubai World Cup. Hot Rod Charlie.
Country Grammar winning the Dubai World Cup in late March, and that was his most recent start. Boy, this was one of the better private purchases. He actually went through an auction, Country Grammar did, after his career had already begun, was purchased relatively cheap. And now all he's done now since then is become one of the top handicap horses in the country. He's made $10 million. He's also one of the top handicap horses out of the country, a la Dubai. But here's the thing about Country Grammar. He's making his first start since the Dubai World Cup, and this race is merely a prep for the Pacific Classic in early September. Maybe he'll win anyway because he's a good horse, and good horses tend to fire. But he was asked hard in his recent workouts against Shaz. Shaz, I picked him to win the Bing Crosby race number 8. They earned the same workout time, but Country Grammar was under a ride in both those recent workouts with Shaz. And I suspect that this race will not be the best for Country Grammar. If it is, he will win. There's also an underlying similarity between the last time that Baffert, Country Grammar trained by Bob Baffert, brought a Dubai World Cup back in the San Diego. It was none other than Arrogate. Arrogate bombed in the San Diego, finished off the board. I asked Baffert this last weekend if there are any similarities at all between what happened to Arrogate, Dubai World Cup to San Diego, compared to Country Grammar, Dubai World Cup to San Diego. And the answer is no, for a couple of reasons. First of all, Arrogate did not get any time off. He got time off from training, but he came right back to the racetrack. He came from Dubai right back to Baffert's stable at Santa Anita, and that's where he stayed. In the case of Country Grammar, and he also, Arrogate, did really not like the Del Mar racetrack and or configuration. He was not a happy camper down at Del Mar, Arrogate. As for Country Grammar, after the Dubai World Cup, he was turned out. He went to Windstar Farm. He was kicked out. He got some time in the bluegrass, just being a horse on vacation. And then Baffert brought him back. Baffert said that in hindsight, if he had to do it all again with Arrogate, he would have kicked Arrogate out and brought him back in off of freshening at a farm. So the point is this: it looks similar on paper. It's really not. I don't think Country Grammar is going to lay an egg like Arrogate did. Country Grammar is a good horse. Using this race as a prep, I'm going to suggest that he is vulnerable first start back, but he's a good horse. And let's take a look at the last time that he won Grade 1 in the U.S., and this was in the Gold Cup a year ago. Royal Ship on the outside has this race won, right? That's Country Grammar to his inside. Royal Ship pokes ahead in front and is on his way to victory, but no. Country Grammar re-rallies on the inside and wins by a head. This is in the 2021 Gold Cup at Santa Anita. Based on that effort, you would have to surmise that Country Grammar is just a better horse than Royal Ship. Royal Ship is in this field, by the way. He breaks from post number 9. Royal Ship misfired last time out in the 2022 Gold Cup. He finished 3rd behind There Goes Harvard. And Royal Ship, it was a disappointing effort because Royal Ship was the even money favorite. Trainer Richard Mandela said that he came out of the race a little stiff and sore. I don't think that Royal Ship liked the Santa Anita racetrack. A lot of horses really can't stand it. It's deep, it's tiring. It's not a really great surface for the longevity and form maintaining performances that you expect from top thoroughbreds. So Royal Ship, he had the alibi. I think it's an alibi. He didn't like the track at Santa Anita, which is ironic because in his previous start at Santa Anita, he was very impressive. Here, the 103 Beyer speed figure winning an overnight stake by 5 lengths. So the excuse might be flimsy. I'm not sure. Country Grammar is a better horse than Royal Ship, in my opinion. We're going to find out if Royal Ship can return to form in the San Diego. Okay, I mentioned earlier that Tripoli won the Pacific Classic a year ago. Let's take a look at the Pacific Classic from 2021. And this is Tripoli when he's in top form, making his second start of the season, and he's winning the Pacific Classic, biggest race of summer. This is a kitten's joy running on dirt, but Tripoli is a good horse, and he had always trained well on dirt. Sadler, his trainer, John Sadler, finally switched him to dirt. He finished 2nd in the San Diego a year ago, came back and won the Pacific Classic. Tripoli was off for the good early portion of this year to have a small chip removed from a knee. He ran very well in his turf race comeback. It was in the Grade 3 American in June at Santa Anita. He had a little bit of trouble, inconsequential in my opinion. He finished 4th. That race was designed as nothing more than a prep into the San Diego. So you wonder, will Tripoli, if he runs well in the San Diego, show up in the Pacific Classic? Only if they want to run him against his stablemate, being Flightline. So I don't know. If Tripoli runs very well and if Flightline is okay, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they send Tripoli out on the road just to avoid Flightline, who's from the same ownership and trainer. Anyway, second start back off a layoff. Tripoli should run very well. He's my second preference. Did I mention who my top preference is? Probably not. His name is Defunded, and he might not be good enough, but he is lightly raced. He's getting better, and his most recent start was terrific. He finished 2nd in the Gold Cup at Santa Anita. Let's take a look at the stretch run. Defunded down on the inside in the yellow and orange silks, and he did all the work up on the front end, but There Goes Harvard rallying from behind, would go past him late to win by a length. Defunded ran very well in defeat. This was his second start off a layoff. He fought back. He finished more than 3 lengths clear of 3rd. This is going 1 1/4 miles off an allowance win at 1 mile. So this was a move forward for Defunded. Now, the difference on Saturday is this. Defunded and There Goes Harvard, both shortening up to 1 16 miles. That benefits Defunded. And I also don't believe this race will unfold at a particularly fast pace. I think that Defunded could actually make the lead. And if he does make the lead, and if his stablemate Country Grammar needs the start, I don't see any reason at all why Defunded cannot take this race gate to wire at a price. When I say price, 4-1, 5-1, somewhere in there for a horse that may or may not be good enough. But he is getting better, Defunded, and I think he's the horse to catch. My second choice in the race is Tripoli. After that, it's Country Grammar, who's the best horse in the race, and he might win, even though this is only a prep. There's one long shot in here that I am very intrigued by because I'm not sure how much attention he's going to get from bettors because he's not good enough yet anyway. But I'm referring to number 6, Parnelli. And Parnelli actually dead heated with There Goes Harvard 2 starts back. Last time out, Parnelli overcame a compromising trip to win an allowance race. John Sheriff's had 2 nominated to this race, Parnelli and Express Train. Express Train, the more accomplished, He didn't even enter the race. Parnelli is going to be Sheriff's lone starter in the San Diego, and he gets tested for class. He's moving forward. He's training well. His speed figures are not good enough. That's okay. It means his price is going to be double digits, I think. And if he starts at more than 10-1, I might have a couple bucks on Parnelli. But when all is said and done, Defunded, in my opinion, is the horse to beat and the horse to catch, wire to wire in race 10 on Saturday at Del Mar.